Hello and welcome to Design. My name is Maria and today we're going to be talking about the theory of color in fashion and outfits. And yeah, let's get started. If you don't know which colors go well with your skin tone, then I'm just gonna go ahead and check out this video on how to figure out if you're a cooler, a warmer, or a neutral skin toned person. And then you can continue watching this video, so you can pay attention to the things that matter for you. And let's get started. So colors are quite difficult if you don't know anything about them. Honestly, being an artist helps, but let's just get into it, and we cannot go anywhere without mentioning the circle of color. Color circle. Okay, yeah, that thing. So why is it important? It's kind of a cheat sheet for you, honestly. The colors are not just thrown randomly. There is actually a thought behind it, and we can figure out the matching of colors through here. Let's start with the primary colors. So the primary colors are the blue, red, and yellow. So these colors are they cannot be mixed. They exist. They're the primary colors. They cannot be made out of different colors. So here they are. Now, if we mix yellow and blue, then we'll get green. If we'll mix blue and red, we'll get purple. And if we mix yellow and red, we'll get orange. These are the secondary colors. Tertiary colors are the ones that are kind of fit in between those everything else. Now let's talk about the warmer and the cooler side of the color circle. Yes. So the warmer colors will be the yellows, the oranges, the reds, maybe some of the green, and the cooler tones would be the purples, the blues, and kind of like the greenish blues. So depending on your color tone, then you can figure out which colors work best for your skin tone. All right, now every color, every really bright color right here is called a hue. If we kind of dilute it with white, it is called a tint. If we mix it instead of white with black, making it darker, it's a shade. If we kind of dilute it with gray, making it more neutral, it would be a tone. Okay, now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's talk about what colors go together with what. So on opposite sides of the circle, we see complementary colors. Why are they called complementary colors? Is because when they're put together, they kind of highlight each other. So they're really, really bright pairing. So for instance, the green and red are actually complementary colors. So that's why we have Christmas, it's green and red and it's super bright. Yeah. Yellow and purple are really kind of a toxic mix as well as the blue and yellowish orangish color. So now that we figure out either we want to follow those just because they're super bright, or we want to stay away from them because it is your choice, right? If you don't want to be super bright and out there, then yeah, don't do it. And of course, you don't have to wear huge amounts of those colors together if they're complementary. You could wear, for instance, a red pant. You can wear a white shirt with a green necklace. The fact that they're not together is going to kind of pull them apart, and they're not going to stand out as much. Also, you can, maybe the shirt would be with little polka dots of green, so that's not going to be super intense on the eyes. So the amount of the color can also vary. Stay in a one color category. So for instance, if you choose red, just choosing the two colors that's closest to it would suffice. It's going to be a really nice and simple vision, and it's not going to be too complicated for the eye. Excuse me. So the next kind of a color combination, it's called the triad, is the 3 like evenly spaced out colors on the color wheel. This can also be a really bright combination, and maybe you could choose to only like wear the 2 and not the 3rd, just to tone it down a little bit. If you're thinking of wearing super bright, then go ahead. It's none of my business. If you guys are enjoying this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Thank you. So split complementary colors is when you choose one color on one side of the wheel, go to its complementary color. Don't choose it, but choose the ones that are closest to it. So this is a little bit lesser of a like extreme combination of the complementary colors, but it is still quite bright. So if you're thinking of dialing it down, maybe try to use the tint or the shade of those colors together. So if you are not feeling like dressing up super bright and out there, then you can always tone the colors down with neutrals like the browns and nudes. Complementary colors, when they're mixed, they create a brown color. There's different ways of dressing with color. You can go monochromatic, which is basically one color in different, it can be one color throughout, or it can be one color in different kind of like a tint of that color, a shade of that color, a hue of that color. So it's one color but different strength of that color, if you know what I mean. I'll have some examples here so you'll totally know what I mean. Okay, so next one would be a kind of matching colors by the thing that I was talking to you about, by the circle. If you want to wear the complementary colors but you don't want to stand out as much, you can always dilute one of the colors or both of the colors and make them either a shade or a tint of that hue that we're talking about. In the worst case scenario, you can always rely on prints on your garments. So for instance, if you already have a print and it has different colors, then you know for sure that these colors work together. So you can just pull one of those out and get more pieces of that color into your outfit. That way it's going to be like a one continuous cohesive outfit. You could also dilute that color and make it a lighter one, or maybe make it more neutral by adding, gray to it, or maybe having it dark, like just darker. Yeah. Some of the prints may include those complementary colors, the ones that I'm telling you, kind of like if that they may be too much, but they are used in different proportion, which is really important to see and figure out, because if they were used together in the same amount, then it would be too much. But if it's just, for instance, a blue background and it has some, I don't know, purple flowers, and those purple flowers have little tints of that orangey yellow color that the complementary to blue, it's not gonna stick out as much as, if it was those yellow orangey flowers on the blue background. If you guys are really scared about starting to wear print, or maybe you just want some more inspiration about how to do it, here is a video about how to start wearing print and how to just continue doing it. Okay, another way of wearing colors, depending on like your style and how bright you like the colors, or how subtle you want them to be. So wearing different colors in the same intensity. So for instance, wearing pastels all together. Pastels are the tint of the hues that you're wearing, or maybe wearing just really bright hues all together, or maybe wearing a jewel tone. So jewel tones are usually a little bit deeper, they have a little bit more black in it, so it's more of a shade of the hue. Alright you guys, I hope this was useful, I hope you learned something new today, and I hope you have a great day. Stay classy. Bye.